And we're back, and a little bit of a mixed bag for you in today's show. So, number one, the rabbit. The rabbit's back. We've got a thing. I mentioned the last one. I'll show you in a minute. Next part of the video, I'm actually going to film on a couple of days' time. Don't be fooled by the ever so slight-ish sunshine at the moment. Yes, it is allegedly summer, but I don't think the memo has quite got this far north yet. So I'm here, dodging out here in between the rain and what is around about 30 to 40 mile an hour winds at the moment. So I might not do the harvest today, but we've got beetroot, we've got broad beans, we've got rhubarb, we've got lettuces, and I'm actually quite excited. I'm looking forward to this. Is like the first big harvest of the year, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I've got a cracking recipe for the rhubarb. It's not your traditional, just pickle it. I love pickling it. I've got a special pickle recipe, but I've got something else planned for some of it this year, so I'll mention that at the end. Watch out for that. But thanks to your top tips on the last videos, we've got a bit of a plan for the trap. And what I've actually done just before I've been filming this, I've actually rubbed my hands in apple, and I'll come to that because, believe it or not, I smell like a human, and rabbits can smell human, which is why it might have been avoiding the trap. So I've covered my hands in apple and apple juice. I've covered the trap in apple and apple juice, and I've actually got a bit of apple down here that I've cut up earlier. I'm going to cut up some other bits. You don't need to see me cutting up millions of bits, but this is going to be our bait. So on all the comments, there was lots of comments in the last video about how I can possibly trap this rabbit and get rid of it on the other side of the fence once and for all. And apparently apple is the key to that. Rabbits love apple, the smell of apple. Rabbits can smell apples from a long way away. So we're going with apple. So I'm going to load the end of the trap up with a bit of apple, like I say, combined with me rubbing the trap in apple, my hands in apple, to try and take away the smell of humans. And the little Brucey bonus is I can set the trap up and I can watch it on the camera up there. So later on tonight, when it gets to around about 8, half 8 at the moment is when the rabbits come out, I'll start having a look so I can actually see if there's one trap. So I don't have to come up, down, checking it all the time. I can see on the camera if it is trapped or not. So I will put more bits of apple in there. The other thing I'm going to do is scatter a couple of little bits of apple around about here, sort of lead the rabbit into the trap as well. And I know that the rabbit, from the camera, I can see that the rabbit runs up and down here, up and down the central bit of path. So we're going to put it to the side, if I can get the door to stay open, which is always useful for a trap, unless there's something in it, of course. And I'm going to have it at a slight angle, a sort of 45-degree angle, coming out to where the rabbit runs up and down, a bit of apple, leading it in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we might just catch something. We better catch something, because I've got sticky hands, but we'll see. I will keep an eye on it. In the next part of this video, I'll either be harvesting things or I'll be rescuing rabbits. There's only one way to find out, and that's to watch after this. And I'm back for a somewhat unscheduled trip to the allotment. And you might be thinking, why has it got a hat on? It's not sunny. Correct. It's to keep the beautiful Scottish summertime driving rain out of my eyes whilst I'm walking along here and filming. So I'd almost given up hope with the rabbit. So the last part of this video that you just saw there, the first segment, was filmed on Monday, and today's Thursday. I was due to come here on Wednesday, didn't get here on Wednesday because of work, had some other stuff on, and I'd been giving up hope. I'd been watching on the camera, I'd been watching the rabbit trolling me, I kid you not, trolling me, running past the trap, backwards and forwards, going everywhere, but inside the trap, and I was getting so frustrated, especially after I'd had the top tips off people about what to do. And I'd set my sights on the apple. I thought the apple was going to be the thing. That's it. That's what's going to do it. 2 or 3 days had gone past. The rabbit had been zooming about, had gone nowhere near the trap, and I'd lost hope. And now I check the camera at the allotment so I can see the trap on the camera. And I generally check it a few times a day, especially in the evening and early in the morning. That's when the rabbits are out, when they're sort of scooting about. Evening time, honestly, there's loads of them about. In the morning time, still a few of them about. But alas, I got up this morning, and I got up at around about 6:30 usual time, wake up, bleary-eyed, check the camera, check the trap, no rabbit, check it a little bit later on in the morning, maybe it's about, 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish, no rabbit, nothing in the trap. But just before I was taking Robbie along to school at about 20 past 8-ish, 10 past 8-ish sort of time, I checked the camera. And shall we go and see what we can see? So we'll just have a little bit of context actually. It's around about 9 o'clock. So I've come here straight from dropping Robbie off at school. This is the allotment here on the right hand side. Let me just undo the gate and we will come along here, and we've got the trap just a little bit, and I feel sorry for little bugs who's trapped in here, busy being rained on, and is probably absolutely petrified, one of being in the trap and two of me being here. So I'm not going to let little bugs suffer any longer. It's a humane trap. I'm going to go and take it over to one of the sort of generic areas outside, away from my plot, and release it to where the other rabbits hang about. Like I say, it's about 8:45, 9 o'clock or sort of in the morning now. The rabbits have just disappeared. I'll take it over, see where they hang out, where I see them running at the bushes. So hopefully it can scoot off, go straight into there and go back to its home instead of living in my allotment. Look, that way. And finally, I'm back with the harvest basket, which can only mean one thing: we're doing something decent at last, and I'm not chasing a bloomin' rabbit around this plot. And as amusing as it might have been, it's actually starting to get on my nerves a little bit. So I'm really, really glad to have dealt with it. So I sorted, we are good. I think we are finally done with the rabbit. But over here, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky for this bit. I'm not going to fully show you everything I'm doing in this bit, because it is the most awkward part of the allotment for me to get in and get the camera down there and film. But this, I'm just going to pull the beetroot up from down here, and I wanted to show you something that's prompted me to do it. And let me just grab some from down here and show you. Now, some of it is a little bit small, but the problem we've got, you might be able to see there at the top, it's just there's the odd piece starting to bolt. If you can see there, the flowers are starting to form. So when it bolts, the beetroot goes all woody, all horrible, all chewy, horrible. Definitely don't want it. I made that mistake once, harvested it when it had flowers on it. Still thought, you know what? Boil it, cook it, chop it, peel it, all that jazz. Get it sorted, get it pickled, get it sorted. Bloomin' awful. Don't do it. So I'm going to harvest the whole lot. It gives me some space. That's fine. That's all right. We'll fill it with some other stuff. But I'm going to do it now. I'm going to pull it all up without filming it. We'll get it sorted. But don't worry, we've got some loads of other stuff that we're going to go and harvest. And even a couple of little brussy bonuses inside the polytunnel that I wasn't even expecting. So I'll be back with you in just a jiffy. So, one of the absolute beauties of this harvest basket, by the way, look, we've got all the beetroot, not all of it. I didn't end up taking all of it. I have left a few bits that were a bit too small. And this wind, by the way, is playing absolute havoc with the camera. It's already fallen over 3 times whilst I've been trying to film this. But anyway, one of the beauties, I saw this, Danny on the Grow Up channel had one of these last year, and I was like, I've got to get one. And this side of it is a bit like a big colander sort of thing, so it's brilliant. When I've got something like this, like the beetroot, I've trimmed the leaves off. It's still all muddy on the bottom. Don't want to traipse that all the way home. The beauty is I can chuck the tap on. We can give it a quick scoosh. All that mud, all that dirt off the bottom of the beetroot. It's just going to come out the bottom of the sort of colander bit there. And it's absolutely brilliant. I do it with all sorts of stuff. I'll put a link in the description down below. Go and have a look, see what you think. Like it, don't like it. Whatever, not to worry. Right, back over there, more harvesting to be done. And hiding out all the way down at the bottom of the... This is a little bit like Unloved Alley down here. It doesn't get much TLC down this part of the allotment because we've got all the comfrey here actually that needs cut back and trimmed and harvested. That all needs cut back. We've got the rhubarb over there that's going to get harvested today as well. There's a whole load of rhubarb needed there. Speaking of stuff that I'm going to do, by the way, rhubarb's going to be made into rhubarb cordial. The beetroot that I harvested before, I'm going to do beetroot and onion relish for that. Both of those recipes as well, I'll chuck those down in the description below. Not my recipes, ones that I've got from other places, other people for stuff, taking no credit whatsoever for them, but I am going to make them, and hopefully they are going to be delicious. The beetroot one is brand new. I'm really looking forward to trying that out. The rhubarb cordial, I've done that a good few times and it's blooming marvellous. I've actually got a video on the rhubarb cordial, but this is lettuce and it's just plain lettuce. But you know what? I wanted to show you this lettuce in particular. This is a type of lettuce called Valmain, and I grow it every year. And the thing about it is it's pick and come again. So when you're harvesting it, you just want to take off the outside leaves. And as you take off the outside leaves, it all just keeps coming back from the middle. It just keeps growing out. I mean, you can leave it to grow to whatever size you want to let it grow, and then just harvest it in a wanna. But I've got other lettuces that do that. Have I got any? Well, I had some over there, some like little gem sort of ones, and the bloomin' rabbit came and munched them all. But on plot number 2, so today's Saturday when I'm here doing this, I've missed a few days. We've been delayed for various reasons. So tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going to go to plot number 2 and we've got different lettuces and stuff over there as well that we'll harvest. But hopefully you can see all the leaves there. So that's only off 2 lettuces, and it's just the outer leaves that I'm picking here. And again, we'll show you it all in a wanna at the end because it'll look all nice and fancy in a basket. But I've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 10 lettuces in here, and that's just off 2 of them. And it just keeps coming, and it really is pick and come again. You pick it, you keep picking it, you just keep picking it, and it just keeps coming. I like to say it's brilliant because you can just nick off the outside leaves and all the ones in the middle get bigger, grow out, flop out, rinse and repeat, and you probably do about half a dozen times per lettuce, and it just keeps coming, and it's absolutely marvellous. So, getting there. That's quite a decent haul of lettuce. I don't know if you can sort of see it there. I didn't expect to get quite that much, but alas, we do. We have loads. It's good. I'll share it out with other people, and I've just come down here to have a look at the broad beans, and they appear to be, this one certainly appears, I think it's just that one. This one on the end here is absolutely covered in aphids, but thankfully it's just the end one. So I'm harvesting all of the broad beans, and speaking of, I'm always looking for new and different things to do with them, and look at that, they're looking pretty good. I planted these ages ago. I was I late with them? Would I say I was late? That one is covered. We'll just put that to the side there. It's got aphids on it, so I want to get that washed, that one as well. I want to get that washed before we put it anywhere near all the other stuff, just so we're not spreading them around anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna check them quite diligently. And this one's got a big hole in it. What would make a big hole in there? I don't know, something's obviously gone in, whether it's been a slug or something or what. I'm hoping the beans, actual beans, I dread to think what I'm going to find inside there. We'll just put that to one side for further investigation as well. And it just seems to be, actually, the ones along here are absolutely beautiful. I don't know what it is about this one plant right on the very end that's got all the aphids on it, and the broad beans themselves, no, is it just 1 or 2 of them? They've got holes in them that have been snaffled, but I'm actually, tell you what, I'm just gonna leave all this one for now. I might cut the entire plant off, just go over there, get it washed, get rid of them. But we'll get back to the nice looking ones. And these are Aqueducta Claudia. They're the broad beans I do pretty much every year. And sort of, sorry, I got distracted by the aphids and the stuff. And I was talking about cooking with them and stuff like that. And beans are one of those things that are sometimes, well, this style of bean, the French beans, and I love the French beans. That's dead easy. I use loads of them. That one's got a hole in it as well. What's put holes in my broad beans? Let's put that to the side. So I saw, I think it was Jessie from plot 37 on her Instagram. They'd done a risotto, and on the risotto she'd used the broad beans. Now I love cooking risotto, and I cook a mean risotto. I do a really good risotto. So I've got a bit of inspiration from that. So I think the broad beans, or certainly some of them to begin with, are probably, when they get harvested, are going to go into a risotto. And that one, oh God, that one's, I'll show you these actually closer up here. And that one's got a hole in it as well. Slugs, I don't know. Would slugs make a hole and go in and munch on the beans? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if it has been slugs, and there's another one with a hole on. No, wood lice. There's wood lice. There's wood lice. There's loads of wood lice inside there. I can see them. There's one coming out there, right at the top. The cheeky little bagger. Anybody else ever had that? Wood lice, holes in the broad beans. Rank, quite frankly. But yeah, the ones that don't have wood lice in them, I'm going to use, and I'm going to put inside a risotto. So there you go. So I'm going to do with them. And the bean plants themselves, although I am giving up this plot at the end of the year, you know, we've got plot number 2 over there. I'm going to cut them down pretty much from the top to about there. So there's maybe just an inch or 2 left at the bottom, but they're going to keep fixing nitrogen into the soil. So I'm going to leave them there. So whoever comes along and takes this plot on next, all that nitrogen has gone back in there, all the goodness. So when they come along and grow whatever, that goodness is back in the soil. So I am going to rattle through the rest of these. Hopefully, we don't have any more down that end that have either aphids or wood lice, and all of it's all right. But I'll get cracking with that, and we'll see how we're looking. So it's baking hot in here, and it's turning out to be quite a good day so far. So we've got loads of broad beans. I couldn't even harvest them all to fit in the basket. So when I'm up here tomorrow, we'll get even more. We've got all our lettuce, we've got our beetroot. I've just picked the one and only courgette that's ready. There's some of them that aren't far away. You know, it's that time of year where you see the neighbours' curtains starting to twitch. Oh God, here comes this guy with his blowing courgettes again. By the time we get millions and millions of courgettes done. But there's 2 brissy bonuses here that I wasn't expecting inside the polytunnel. The first one over here is our very first of the season, Carmen cucumber. I think this is the earliest I have ever harvested a cucumber. What are we now, towards the end of June? This is one of my own homegrown plants. It's busy, it should be growing up this bit of string over here, but it's deciding to go into the strawberries because why not? So we'll pop that in the harvest basket. And something else even more unexpected, and this is for one of Mick's plants. Remember Mick, who very, very, very generously gave us some plants, and I've only got one to show you, just one. There's no others anywhere close, but look, we've got one beautiful ruby red chilli, and that is a bird's eye chilli, and it's the first one ready of the year. So you've got broad beans, you've got lettuce, you've got cucumber, you've got courgette, we've got beetroot, we've got chilli. I've got a pile of rhubarb up there. The sweet peas are flowering all over the place now that the blooming rabbit isn't eating them all. So I'm going to go and get some of them as well, and I'm going to take them to my mum because I'm a good son. Well done. Anyway, let me get it all gathered up into this basket so I can take a fancy photograph for Instagram, and I can also come back at the end of the video and show you everything we've got. So even though it's a bit too windy and I've probably burnt the top of my head, I'm in a pretty good mood. We've vanquished the rabbit from the allotment. That's got to be a good thing. I've got a beautiful bunch of sweet peas here for my mum because I am the golden child, and let me just put them down and hope they don't blow away. We've got our harvest basket where we've got broad beans, cucumbers, a little cheeky chilli, we've got lettuces, we've got beetroot, we've got first courgette of the year, and last but not least, I don't even think I'll pick all this up in a oneer, is we've got like a bajillion sticks of rhubarb, and there's still loads left to harvest. The rhubarb this year has been nuts. It's been absolutely crazy. Anyway, I'm kind of happy because the last couple of weeks I've just been a little bit off kilter, and that rabbit has really been bugging me. But I've got a new lease of life. I'm full of beans now. We've got all this harvested. I've got a load of new stuff started at the greenhouse. Obviously, we're creating space. I want stuff to come back to fill the space, to grow. Bit of a balancing act moving between plot 1 and plot 2. But for the day, I'm finishing off here on plot 1. Tomorrow, coming back, a few bits and pieces left to harvest. Then I'm done. I'm going to plot 2, and I'm going to get stuff done there instead. So that's me done. Thank you for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.